Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, D&D Technology. Well-known brand. I believe they started off as an Australian brand. Proudly Australian, yep. They've made a lot of good locks over the years, and a lot of locks I've been a big fan of, especially their gate locks. They're suitable for outdoor conditions, built in plastic, strong enough but yet sturdy enough for outdoor conditions. So they've ticked all the boxes. They don't come in too expensive. They're a good product, and you can buy hinges, latches, locks, all types of locks and things off them. And as you might have seen in some of my videos in the past, that I've actually spoken quite a bit about a lot of their locks, and I've fitted quite a lot of their locks. This lock here in particular is the one that I'm a little bit upset with. This is an automatic gate lock, and this is used on places where nobody's going to remember to relock the gate. So putting an automatic gate lock on there means you open a key, go through the gate, slam it, and it's locked behind you. All right, so what's the big change? Okay, so now, as of, 2022, end of October 2022, D&D Technologies has been acquired by Assa Abloy. So are they an Australian brand anymore? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, what part of it's going to be Australian still? Most of this will probably be taken overseas, and most likely it'll just be made in Chinese factories like they do a lot of their other Lockwood locks and things. So what part of it stays Australian? Who knows? But some of the things that kind of annoy me is not that one, is this gate lock. This gate lock, since the acquirement, has been discontinued. So for some reason, the Assa Abloy have come up with, let's just streamline things and let's just get rid of products that aren't selling too many. And one of the products that wasn't selling too many is this particular gate lock. Now, there's a lot of questions here, and I'll see if I can answer a couple of them. What do you do if you've already fitted one of these for your client and now it's broken? Somebody's smashed it or demolished it. What do you do? Well, you can't do anything because you've got a certain footprint on your gate, a lock that you've sold your customer, told them that it's a good lock, don't worry, it'll be fine, and now that somebody's come along and vandalized it, you're now going to have to sell them a completely new lock. Now, I don't know about you, but there's not a lot of locks out there that are self-latching like this without going to the extent of carving out this frame and putting in a completely different setup of lock. I mean, maybe there's another brand out there. Let me know in the comments if there's another brand out there to replace this, because I think we're looking towards having to dump D&D as a supplier if they're going to make this type of reckless changes that affect the customers, the locksmiths. It also affects them on their bottom line, because the effect they're trying for is they want to make more money. So these free thinkers here, well, look, there's one, Mercedes so-and-so, they're probably just the people publishing the article. You'd call that the media correspondent. These people here, obviously, who acquired it, are going through there, seeing what they can cut out, seeing what they can change, trying to make the company more profitable. But one of the things they're doing in the process is just shitting on us locksmiths. I was a big fan, and you can go through some of my channels. The amount of times I've done videos, there's one, over and over and over. I've done that many different gate locks. Here we go. How to rekey it, how to install it, rekeying this one, rekeying that one, putting it on restricted. It goes on and on. The gate key, how to get a key if you've lost one, the new type of lock, right? So it's not like I don't use their products. I've been a reasonable fan of it, being Australian made and all the rest. I've been quite a big fan of it. But now, because they've dumped this particular lock that we use all the time, I'm a little bit upset. The reason they've dumped it is because in favour of higher selling items. I mean, I get it. I mean, this is the amount of Bunnings stores there are. Bunnings being our hardware, just like Lowe's is in America and some of the other ones in different countries. Look at it. Just in Sydney alone, we've got 62. In Victoria, we got 72. And in Queensland, 51, not including all the regional ones all the way around and around. So they've just focused on the main hotspots, and as you can see, there's hundreds of them, hundreds. Now, in Bunnings, what do they sell? They sell DIY stuff. So, of course, if you type in gate lock, you're going to see all the D&D stuff, because they do supply it, which is fine. But the thing is, we cannot compete as locksmiths selling and installing and recommending the products. We cannot compete with somebody who's going to buy this type of gate lock or this type of gate lock. Very few customers in Bunnings actually want the automatic locking gate lock, because they're not servicing commercial customers. We are. They're not dealing with common property. We are. They're dealing with houses and domestic, gates and pools and things like this. So yeah, you're going to sell more of it, but if you don't sell those ones that automatically lock, you're just going to upset all the locksmiths. I'm not the only locksmith who uses this. If you look over here, you look at all the companies. Wins Locksmiths recommend it. They sell it. Safeguard Locksmiths, SMS, SAS, Keeler, Secure Your World, We Do, Class, and this is the deluxe one here. Still incorporates. So this is the deluxe one, right? No, that's not the deluxe one. Which is the one that we were doing? The auto locking. I think it was the Deluxe Pro they called it. Anyway, cut a long story short, we're all basically going to be now stuck having to fit this lock here that has this automatic opening. So you're going to have to use the key to relock it, which is not good for anybody, especially not for us locksmiths who then have to go through and sell them another product because it has to be self-locking. Relocking it with a key is just not a functional thing. Anyway, if you would like to have a whinge with me, and that's what we'll call this segment, have a whinge with me. This after calling these people, I also spoke to the supplier, and I spoke to D&D, and this is what they came up with. Give us your feedback in writing. We'll use that. We'll evaluate that. It just doesn't get filed away. We actually look and we read it, is what he told me. So perhaps my email might do something. Perhaps your email might also help. And the suppliers, I've been told they'll be sending emails as well. And I'll tell you the reasons why in a second. So sales at ddtech.au at Assa Abloy. That's where you need to send your complaint letter advising them that, we do need this lock. And just because you're trying to cut costs doesn't mean you should, discontinue it. It's not a good idea, and it's not going to do any favors for anybody. It's just going to annoy some of your loyal customers. All right, so let's go through some of the points here. It's the only lock on the market that will self-lock after you use it. What else is there? If somebody else has another brand, put it down in the comments, because we're at that stage now. And if they lose their market now to another brand, well, that's just the way it is. If we start to look at other brands now for supplying more than just this self-locking lock, that's just the way it is, because they're looking at, all the dollars and cents, not worried about who they're going to wipe out in the process. I mean, they're basically just looking for this customer here. I've seen it time and time again. They just go for the big customer and everybody else gets shafted in the process. All right, point number 2. It's the only lock suitable for common areas. Okay, so going back to my previous gate installation, it's the only one suitable for playgrounds, for some pools, for some common areas on buildings, parks, shopping centres, you name it, where anybody uses a key and is not going to relock the lock after use. It's the only lock available. Number 3, our locksmiths and customers are loyal customers. Yeah, as a locksmith, I'm loyal. Look at all the different locks I've fitted over the years, and also my customers. They're also used to the locks as well. They're loyal customers as well. And how are they going to feel when I tell them I cannot screw on another lock in those holes that's going to do the same job? I mean, what else is there? They had the market for so long, this Australian company. Everyone's gone out there and fitted them and got used to them. So what else is there now? We have to go find another brand. Our loyal customers are going to have to go find another brand, and we're going to have to adopt their new installation, their new techniques, and learn everything about them, all because of this reason. So yeah, doesn't matter how loyal customers we are, we're not big customers, and that's kind of annoying. Just because the amount of locksmiths compared to Bunnings, yeah, they outnumber us. The amount of DIY people who purchase stuff through Bunnings to locksmiths, yeah, they outnumber us, but we're still loyal customers. Right, point number 4. Lock suppliers sell 100 units per month. Now, I only spoke to one lock supplier, and they were telling me it's up to 100 units per month. Okay, so 12,000 units per year, not even including the rest of the locks that are sold in that automatic locking function. I'm pretty sure I should look that up, but because I haven't really, I've always called it the Deluxe Pro. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and now they're just moving over to the Deluxe, which you can, you have to self-lock. Gate latches, here we go. Let's just get our terminology correct first. Yeah, the Deluxe, and we, as locksmiths, want the Deluxe Pro. Pro, they know it's for pros. Professional people, the Pro, but now they've decided to discontinue it. I think it's a really stupid idea, and whoever comes up with these type of ideas probably should have done a little bit of market research before saying, let's just dump that and make more profit. It's not the same. The people who are making these decisions don't understand they're not the same. Just because you don't sell one unit to the next unit at the same amount doesn't mean you don't need it. Here's the thing. If you've only got one option, you'll only sell that one option. If you've got the other option, people might say, oh, look, nobody's locking the gate. And you go, oh, you know what, customer? Here you go. We'll swap this lock. And then we can use the same footprint. There's no extra holes on your door. Now, we don't have that option. All right. Okay, so here's another point. Make it an option on the new model or not. You've just acquired this company. You reckon you're going to take it from leaps and bounds and all this? You spend all this money, refine it with these nice, sharp, ergonomic edges and all the rest. Hey, here's a brainwave. Use one lock, make it compatible with the 2 functions. Not rocket science. If you don't want to have to retool and you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, do what every other lock manufacturer does. Have one extra part that's either an option or include it with the kit, so you remove this or add this so it makes it self-locking. How about that? Wow. I know. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I'm clever, but not as clever as these people who decide to dump it. Anyway, I believe D&D Technologies would have come up with something like that if they wanted to streamline their manufacturing process, if they wanted to make it less nuts and bolts and save millions of dollars on lock manufacturing stuff. That's what they probably would have done. Or you know who would have done that? Carbine. If Carbine invented this lock or made this lock, they would probably have a function that says, right, one platform does both. Now I can just concentrate on selling out one platform. But instead, Asa Abloy want to dump the whole line of the self-locking ones. So there's my point number 6. This decision puts loyal locksmiths in bad positions with their customers, and it really does. If you just look at some of these gates here, if I get a call for one of these, my customer says, "Oh, replace this. What can I do now?" I've got no option but to screw on one that's not self-locking. They're not going to be happy with that. It's not going to be suitable. What can I fit on a gate like this that's going to do the same job? And to date, I know there is a couple of other brands out there, but I don't know if they're self-locking. So I'm kind of left with, what else can you do? I mean, it's not like you can start to modify these type of posts. They're very thin. As you can see on this gate here, one of the posts is missing. That's how thin they are. So, yeah, it puts you in a bad position. Okay, locksmiths are often the ones that are fitting the locks. That's true. You might have and sell all your locks through Bunnings and sell plenty of them and all that sort of stuff. But it's the locksmiths who are rekeying them. It's the locksmiths who are recommending them. It's the locksmiths who are installing them. Sometimes it is DIY with these particular type of locks. They have moved towards that. Their instructions are fairly reasonable. It's not the hardest lock on the world to fit, so a lot of people do that. But on saying that too, come on, you've got to remember that locksmiths are the people who are out there pushing your brand too. And for a long time we've been saying, oh, it's Australian made, oh, it's good, it's this, it's that. And now we're out there looking for a new brand, reason being because of the decisions that Asa Abloy's made with D&D Technologies, just to make more profit. Profit over everything else. Okay, if they focus on the DIY market, we'll find alternative products. That's exactly my other point. D&D, yeah, great, but now we're all going to do Google search, and somebody will leave it in the comment who that competitor is, and then the rest of us are then going to have a look at it and say, oh, you know what, they make that gate lock, or they make this, we'll start using them. So not only have they lost the sales of the automatic Deluxe Pro, they will most likely lose sales on other products they have when we have to start searching for alternative products. Because then we'll say, oh, well, now it's just Lockwood, the price is going to go up, and, oh, they'll discontinue this, or parts will be real hard to get. I mean, it's true. Dealing with Asa Abloy for a lot of things has been expensive. It's hard to get. Their customer service, just ordering lock parts, I'd prefer not to do it. And I never order direct because it's too much of a head fuck, and it's just too hard. I'd go through a supplier and pay the premium, go through a supplier because I don't want to deal with them. They're too hard. And when you do deal with them, they're charging you 30% more than retail. So it's just ridiculous in the first place because they don't want to deal with you. They want to deal with suppliers. They want to deal with bigger companies. So it's like you can't deal directly with them. And a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth from the other products the other companies have acquired. And should we be forced to have to purchase, generally we just go through suppliers because it's easier. So, the focus is, when actually I have dealt with D&D before. I found them fine, easy, no problems. But yeah, now that will, I guess, be changing. Just the same as Dawn Macabre changed. Macabre used to be real good to order through. Had a sales rep and everything. Once they changed hands to Dawn Macabre, oh, there goes the sales rep. And then it became real hard to order. And then, oh, we don't want to be a supplier. We don't want to deal with locksmiths. Okay, so it just went on and on and on. And sooner or later, I don't buy a Cabra product unless I have to. And I'm dealing with every other brand under the sun before I'll do that because it's just too hard. They don't want my business, and I don't want to give it to them. So that's where we're at with Dawn Macabre. And if Asa Abloy want to do this, well, then I'll be most likely doing the same because I can't deal direct with Asa Abloy. Very few people can. They don't want to know you unless you're $1 million client to them a year. All right, moving on. This opens the door for locksmiths to investigate new brands. That's what I kind of said before and explained before. Yeah, leave it down in the comments. What do we do now for this one? I bet you somebody knows, and I bet you somebody's got a brand, and hopefully they're an Australian brand. And if they're not, well, what's the harm anyway? It looks like this Australian brand's gone over to Asa Abloy, and Asa Abloy, they're not an Australian company anymore. It's a global company. Some of the brands they've taken over, yeah, sure. They used to be Australian. They've taken over every keen platform I can think of, apart from, I think, Bylock. Bylock's the only one that didn't sell up to them, but they bought out everything else. Everything else. And you look at all the overseas brands, they bought them out too. So they just buy everything out and then make it super hard for you to purchase. And now they're making it super hard to get the locks that you need. And this is a lock that we need. Not this one here. We need the Deluxe Pro, the automatic locking one. It's a lock we use all day, every day. There you go. There's another video of it fitting it on a pedestrian gate for a block of units. You know. Anyway, did like the product. Annoyed with the product now. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, you need to send an email to these people here, right? Send an email, waffle on as much as I have, and send it through and tell them that their decision of penny pinching and pushing locksmiths out is just unwarranted. It's unwise, and it's unwise in the long term. And when you do that, you only put locksmiths in hard positions with their clients, which is devastating for them because they've been loyal to the brand. And now, to not be able to put anything back in the same hole to achieve the same function annoys them. And you can also put through some of my other tips. Look, since you've taken it over, how about you modify the new lock and make it do dual purpose? I mean, it'd be good for me to have one lock in the truck rather than two. And when I need a particular function, I can turn it into that. Well, I mean, we're no stranger to locks you can change function on. Have a look at the Mortis lock, 3572. You want storeroom, you want passage, you want classroom, you want any function you want. Double-sided glass door function, not a problem. You can do that with one lock. So, yeah, tell them to make it into one lock. If they want to do something, make changes, so that way they don't have to spend more money and only sell one product, do that. Change the design. All right, so that's there's my points there. I could probably come up with more and just bore you to death, but I'm not going to. Here is the email. Send a couple of emails. Tell everyone else to send a couple of emails. Maybe they might listen to us. Maybe they won't. Hey, it'd be great if they decided to re-enable it. Wouldn't it be good to say, oh yeah, we all sent through emails and something changed? Look, I know it's a long ask, especially with us at Abloy, but it's worth a try. Leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching.